and also as a civilian president. He had a 2-year tenure from 2015 to 2023 as a civilian governor, and also had a tenure from 1983 to 1985 as a military general. So we'll be having conversations around the light of his economic powers, what the economy of Nigeria looked like, and how well the economy, did. If it got better and if it was worse, we'll be looking at those angles. And we have asking questions around the angles where Nigerians talked about the fact that they suffered a bit of starvation. We saw mixed reaction during his time as a general and a military ruler, based on the fact that a whole lot of persons during the 80s complained of economic hardship and finding it so hard to, have their day-to-day activities and live. And also we saw a different reaction where people were saying during his first term as the president, a civilian president, they got jobs and they were able to feed their families. So we saw reactions still during his term as a civilian ruler, where people reacted to the fact that the economy dipped. So we'll be looking at poverty line, unemployment, and infrastructural development, all of that deep. But still, we saw significant growth around the GDP, and also we saw growth around the agricultural sector. So we'll be looking at all of these angles into this conversation. But before we get deeply into the conversation, let me bring you up to speed with how late President Muhammadu Buhari got into power. He took power in a military coup in December of 1983, overthrowing the civilian government of Sir Shehu Shagari. And at the time, Nigeria was suffering from falling oil price, rising costs, and economic mismanagement. Economic conditions showed that oil-dependent economy, over 90% of export earnings and most of government's revenue came from oil. And then we now saw a sharp decline in oil price after the 1980 oil boom. Foreign reserve duplicates external debt also increased. Key economic policies: rejection of IMF loans, refusal to accept IMF conditions, including currency devaluation. Then moving to imports angles, we saw import restrictions, ban on restricted unrestricted many imports, and also to conserve foreign exchange. Also during the 80s, he also had an initiative of which he tagged WAI, which is centered around war against indiscipline, which aimed to instill fiscal discipline and reduce corruption, and also improve and provide productivity within sectors in Nigeria. So we saw all of these initiatives being created. We are going to be having conversations at a time when all of this, if these initiatives and these policies that were introduced by late President Muhammadu Buhari were actually introduced properly, and if those initiatives were seen through, and if Nigeria benefited at a time based on this policy. So we'll be looking at all of those. And also, he also introduced strict fiscal policies to reduce public spending. Still talking about public spending, we've seen the Oron-Saya report, which is a modern thing now, and then we've seen actions that are being taken, that are yet to be taken to fully implement the Oron-Saya report. So immunity measures, that was one of the initiatives that was created by late President Muhammadu Buhari. We'll be having conversations on how these policies shaping Nigerian economy to what we are seeing today, because there has been a build-up over the years from the early 80s. A whole lot has been happening. So we'll see how well his time as a general and also as a civilian president, how well he managed the economy, and what outcome Nigerians had, if Nigerians were very happy or not. We'll find out more immediately after this break. That's when I'll be introducing my guests who will help us do the major talking points. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Many thanks for staying with us. If you're just joining, this is Midday Discuss, and we're set to get into the conversation. But before we do that, we have reports from our reporters saying, getting the opinions of Nigerians on their opinions on late President Muhammadu Buhari as a civilian ruler and also as a general as a military ruler as well. So we're going to get this report and get the views of Nigerians on what they think about the late president. Here are the reports.
Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari died in London after a long illness. He served as president from 2015 to 2023, and earlier as a military head of state from 1983 to 1985. In an interview, Nigerians reacted to the passing of the immediate past president, Muhammadu Buhari, saying the entire country has been thrown into a state of mourning, adding that being a two-time president is one of Buhari's greatest legacies.
Seriously, when I heard the news, I was so sad. I'm not really happy. He's our leader, he's our former president, he's our military head of state. That time, there's a policy that he brought that we all enjoy, and there's some policy he brought that we all sad.
It's a very sad one for all of us Nigerians. Many people may have their own side of the story about Muhammadu Buhari, but for me, he's a very good man.
They also describe Buhari as a very good man who will be missed while highlighting the End Power scheme as one of his major achievements.
We know him with his disciplinary record, war against indiscipline that he introduced to Nigeria, which reshaped the minds of Nigerians.
I really want to say I'm sorry for the great loss to the Buhari's family, because nobody is perfect. In every government, there's always the good and the bad.
death is actually so inevitable, and he is quite old. He has done his bit. He has tried his best for Nigeria, and I just send my deepest condolences to the family and to Nigerians. I pray that his soul rest in peace.
As Nigerians reflect on the life and leadership of Muhammadu Buhari, many agree that his legacy, whether praised or criticized, has left a lasting mark on the nation's history. Ubong Usoro for Global TV.
Many thanks, Ubon Osoro, for that report. And now we're getting right into the conversation as I'm set to introduce my guest, Dr. Bartolome Aboche. Good afternoon, Dr. Many thanks for joining us on today's edition of Discourse.
I'm grateful for you having me this afternoon.
Yes, sir. So let's get right into the conversation of the day. Let's get your opinion of the late President Muhammadu Buhari during his time as the military head of state from 1983 to 1985, and later on being the democratic elected leader of Nigeria.
Yeah, when somebody passes on, there are various tendencies of opinions of people about such a person. And many often times than none, a lot of people are biased in their perception of that person on the guise that you don't ever dare to talk evil of somebody who has died. You don't dare talk evil of somebody who has died. But me, I will talk evil of somebody who has died if you lived in an evil way. Yes, I am talking evil of Adam. Adam plunged us into this condition of humanity. I am talking evil of Eve. I am talking evil of Cain. I'm talking evil of Judas Iscariot that betrayed Jesus. Why won't I talk evil of somebody who did a bad thing while on earth here? So many people come singing praises of late General Muhammad Buhari retired, who had been a one-time military head of state and a two times a president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. People come singing his praises. But I have a different perception of him. He was a greedy person and a selfish person to the core. He plunged Nigeria into a colossal disaster. He took over government from a democratically elected president.
Sir Shehu Shagari.
In 1984.
83 December entering.
1984, 1st January 1984. And he was there until August 1985. He lasted there for about a year and eight months. What were his reasons? He had a 3-point agenda for toppling that government. Number one, he said that there was economic mismanagement. Number two, that there was widespread corruption. Number three, that there was lack of discipline.
War against indiscipline.
These were the reasons he toppled the government of an elected Democrat. But when he came on board as the military head of state, all of us, we all knew that the government that time was the government of his deputy, which was Idi Agbon. As so many people rumored, the government of Idi Agbon. Well, as he toppled democracy. Nobody knew that he would love democracy. Nobody knew that he would love democracy. When the Fourth Republic came, that we are enjoying up to now, he wanted to come in, but this was the democracy you destroyed. He tried so many times, and eventually he went there in 2015. Yes, what you wanted to do as a military head of state and you were not able to do it now. He came in, and as he was coming in, he was not coming in as a Democrat. He was coming in as a warlord. If President Goodluck Jonathan had the type of mind that Buhari had, would he have handed over? He wouldn't have handed over. We see a pure Democrat in President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. If not, the person on top of the horse is the owner of the horse. You have the yam and you have the knife. Everything is at your whims and caprices. But good luck, Ebele Jonathan. Say, okay, you want this, take and lead us. If you know you are able to lead us. Do you know what Buhari did? Buhari had hired hoodlums from Niger Republic, from Futa Jalon, from Mali, and equipped them with ammunition in case Goodluck Jonathan did not hand over to him. Those are the people that are the fallouts in Katsina that we are seeing now. They are the fallouts at Zamfara that you are seeing now that have been turned into bandits because what Buhari promised to give them when he ascended to the truth, he failed. That is why you can hear of banditry so much grossly pronounced in Katsina and Zamfara today.
But during his time as the leader of the president of Nigeria, we witnessed a bit of calm within the Northeast region in terms of insecurity and banditry.
I'm coming there. I am coming there. So that was what happened. This good man, this good Democrat that we saw in Goodluck Jonathan, he soft pedal and he took over. And he took over and he came in. See what he started doing as a Democrat. He did so many other things. I will take them one after the other. The first point of call was the issue of Nnamdi Kanu. He took away freedom of expression from people. If you wanted to express yourself, he will suppress you. Nnamdi Kanu has a radio station in the United States of America called Radio Biafra. And he was talking about Biafra. He ordered that Nnamdi Kanu should be arrested. If somebody is talking about Biafra in United States of America, what is your business? Concentrate on your governance now and let people see what you're doing. He went after Nnamdi Kanu. He got Nnamdi Kanu arrested in October, the same year that he was inaugurated. And Nnamdi Kanu was kept in detention for over a year against the constitution that he claimed brought him to power. It was April 2017 that Nnamdi Kanu was granted bail by the then Justice of Nigeria, Binta Nyako, at the Federal High Court on ground of health. On ground of health. And soon after, he took ill and was flown abroad. And he stayed there for more than 5 months. And Nnamdi Kanu took to his toll and said that he was dead. Nnamdi Kanu initiated the propagation of the rumor of Jubril of Sudan. That was on his own. Another person was Omoleye Sowore. When there was a massacre at Tollgate, and Sowore led the people on a peaceful protest, Buhari took on Sowore again and got him arrested and was kept in detention for 144 days. 144 days. Is this a Democrat coming to us to rule us in military mind with civilian attire? That is dictatorship. That is dictatorship. Why keeping somebody arrested and keeping him in detention without charges for 144 days? Is this democracy? Is this democracy? That is that one for you. Now let's come to economic mismanagement. Did Buhari manage our economy well? During the time of Buhari, was there economic management? When he was going abroad for medical checkup, the money he was using to go abroad, if he had invested the money on health medical services in Nigeria, we would have gotten a befitting hospital that people would even come to from abroad to get services from. Are there not doctors in Nigeria? Are Nigeria not brilliant? Are there not qualified doctors in Nigeria? But Buhari failed to put up structures that will get us a befitting hospital. When you talk in terms of the 10 best hospitals in Africa, Nigeria is not one of them. The best hospital in Africa is in Ghana, followed by South Africa. Then you talk of Tanzania and the rest of them. Among the 10 best hospitals in Africa, Nigeria does not have one. And the leaders in Nigeria, they think less about it. Small headache, abroad. Small leg pain, abroad. They don't attend hospitals in Nigeria. They don't. Is that economic management? That's economic mismanagement. That is what also they take to education. Their children don't school in Nigeria here. They school abroad. Buhari, if economic mismanagement was your reason for toppling the democracy in 1984, then as you came, you would have managed our economy well by making our schools to be world-class standard. Buhari did not do that. So that is making me to perceive that his ascension to the throne was self-driven. It was selfish. Now, let's talk of corruption. That is economic management I've talked about.
Yes.
Let's talk about corruption. Did Buhari fight against corruption?
You know, he created a policy against war, against indiscipline, which is also centered around fiscal policies and management of corruption.
Did he follow it? That is my question. Did he follow it? Buhari did not follow it. Listen, let me talk to you. Buhari did not follow it. Did Buhari know that Emefiele was corrupt? Emefiele that he appointed as the CBN governor. Did Buhari know that he was corrupt? If Buhari did not know that he was corrupt, then Buhari was incapable of becoming a president. When Tinubu came, it did not take Tinubu 1 year before knowing that MFLA was corrupt.
Yes.
Now, very recently, I think around the last week, I heard that he returned how much? 4 trillion naira. MFLA built an estate for himself, 753 duplexes. That's CBN governor.
Yes, former CBN governor.
If a CBN governor could do that, what about Buhari himself? Will Buhari fold his hands and watch his CBN governor to pack money? And he will not do same? What corruption
Do you think
did Buhari come to fight against? What corruption?
Do you think the monetary policy that's talking about the e-naira and then the change of naira to the cashless policy that we witnessed during the era of President Buhari, do you think was all a scheme of corruption?
Buhari was not a clean man. The point I'm making, even Mefiele, that was his foot soldier, could do that harm to Nigeria. What about him? What about him? We're talking about corruption. Now, when we talk in terms of appointment, I'm still on corruption. When we talk in terms of appointment, did Buhari bring a federal character into it? He was nepotical. He was nepotical. We often talked about Obasanjo as being a brutal ruler.
A ruler, yes.
But Obasanjo, his hands were like this. Federal character was practiced to the letter. During Obasanjo's time, the president of Senate came from the southeast. The first president of Senate was Chuba Okadibo.
Yes.
But so unfortunately, he was not there for a long time. He gave way for Pius Anyim. And Pius Anyim gave way to Wabara. And Wabara gave way to Ken Nnamani. Democracy was flowing. Now, when you talk in terms of governance, we talk in terms of legislature. Then let's go to the judicial
system, yes.
Yeah? Obasanjo did not touch the judiciary. He left the judiciary. And when we talk in terms of military, Obasanjo did not touch the military. And if you talk in terms of military, and you are trying to think of where coup may come from, it is not from the chief of defense staff. The people who engineer, who initiate coup, most especially, they come from the army. And it comes from the chief of defense staff. Now, Obasanjo would have made the chief of defense staff to be his tribe. He didn't do that. Who was the chief of defense staff during Obasanjo? It was T.Y. Danjuma.
Yes.
T.Y. Danjuma was from the north. After T.Y. Danjuma, it was Alex Ugomudia from the Midwest. But what happened to Buhari? Will Buhari ever pick chief of army staff from the west? Would he pick it from the south? Never at all. It had to be from the north. The first chief of army staff during Buhari's era was Tukur
Buratai from Borno State.
And after Tukur Buratai, you go to Ibrahim Atairu. From Ibrahim Atairu, you come to Farouk Yahya. All of them from the north. They must be from the north. Because Buhari had a hidden agenda. He did not want to take anybody from the south. After Tukur Buratai, was there any Igbo man who would follow? But the issue there is if you are the C in C, anybody that the turn was on him and you didn't want him to come on board, you can retire him and pick the next person. That was what Buhari did. Federal character was not in his book. Like I was talking about in the legislature. The legislature, the head of the red chamber was from the east. But during Buhari, the legislature was Ahmed Lawan. He must be from the north. The army from the north. The police, Adam Abubakar, was from the north. Everybody from the north. Custom, Ahmed Ali, was from the north because he wanted to be in charge of the borders so that the border activities will be at his whims and caprices. He took Ahmed Ali to control the border. That was why he was able to flush in a lot of people that are causing problems in Nigeria all over today. That are causing problems all over Nigeria today. Was Buhari neat? Buhari was not neat at all. He was not neat at all. All these Fulani problems that you are seeing, they were caused by Buhari. They were caused by Buhari. Religious bigotry gained more footing during the time of Buhari. It was during the time of Buhari that this lady, Deborah, was lynched at College of Education, Federal College of Education, Sokoto. Buhari didn't say anything. May 12, 2022, was lynched. Haba! And you didn't say anything. He said that is Islamic right. That is Islamic right. Now, as she was lynched at Federal College of Education, Sokoto, and you didn't say anything, if UNN, a Muslim rises and speaks back about Jesus, and they lynch him to death, will you talk? Will you talk? And if you don't talk, are you not throwing the whole nation into a chaos? Are you not throwing the whole nation into a chaos? In Sokoto, Deborah was lynched and nobody talked. Around Plateau, I think around Plateau or thereabout, I don't know the area, there was somebody who was farming and the Fulani came to challenge him to kill him, and he overpowered the Fulani and killed the Fulani. The man was arrested and was recently, I think about a month ago, condemned to death. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? And when we talk in terms of discipline, did Buhari bring discipline to the country? No. He brought nepotism. People who are praising Buhari, let them continue to praise Buhari. Yes, because there are so many sycophants. There are so many people who don't say the truth. You say you don't talk evil of the dead. In the first place, Buhari has not died. He just transited. He dropped the body. The body is not yourself. Yourself is in your spirit. He changed location. The only difference between Buhari, where he is now and where he was about 1 week ago, is that 1 week ago he was on net here, he had money, he had a private jet, he had everything. But right now, is as ordinary as Deborah, that he made the people kill, and he did not say anything. There should be a lesson to people who are in governance now. Nobody stays in governance forever. there is a time you will leave. Yes, we are on earth here. There are people who are palm sex. There are people who are governors. There are people who are presidents. But when you die, you become as ordinary as every other person. So you have to tread with caution. As many as are praising Buhari that he was a good man, they could say that. They could say that. It's not my business. That is their own perception. But to me, as far as I'm concerned, Buhari was not a good man. Buhari came and plunged this country, Nigeria, into chaos. What Tinubu is doing today, Buhari showed him the way. When Buhari ascended to the throne, he carried his own people. So when Tinubu comes, what do you expect Tinubu to do? What do you expect Tinubu to do? Tinubu must carry his own people. Even the current Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, when his time was over, and he would have gone, but Tinubu said, don't go. If you go, the other person that is going to come, I may not trust the person. Stay behind. Just like Buhari himself, the time he ascended on the throne in 2015, it was Onogen that was the Chief Justice of Nigeria. And he was prepared to do shoddy job, and he felt that Onogen could not be a collaboratory partner, a good collaboratory partner. He edged Onogen out unconstitutionally and brought who? Mohammed Tanko, his own man. These were the things that Buhari did, and right from that time, judiciary was besieged up to now. Judiciary was besieged. The besieging of the judiciary start from the time of Buhari. It is only God that will deliver us from there. Because if you would be a judge and you will say the right thing here and now, where we are now, the dispensation we're inside now, then you must take your life in your hands. If you don't take your life in your hands and you say, okay, this is what Constitution says, this is what Constitution says, and you don't listen to the executive, then you are pushing your head into the guillotine. Buhari really wrecked this country. And I know God is going to save us.
Do you think this current administration is trying its possible best to rectify those corruptions and those economic hiccups that the former late President Muhammad Buhari left, the vacuum he left in the Nigerian economic space?
I've not seen it. I've just said it that the pathway that Buhari created is what this present government is doing.
But we saw a 2% annual economic GDP growth during the era of President Muhammad Buhari from the year 2015 all through to 2023.
What are you saying about that?
But I'm trying to say that we saw a 2% annual growth, which was, fluctuating, but the margin was around 2% of the annual growth within the time.
Sam.
Yes.
Don't be deceived by the junks and garbages and social media fluctuation and government jingles. Let them not deceive you. Everybody knows, the blind, the lame, the deaf, that Nigeria is not doing well. You are not doing well. I am not doing well. People who are doing well are the thieves. Are the thieves who suppress you and I. The thieves who suppress you and I. They are the ones that are doing well, and they are the ones eventually that are praising Muhammad Buhari. Nothing is working well. As I speak to you, nothing is working well in Nigeria. The pathway that Buhari left behind is what the present government is doing. Is what the present government is doing. Is it the judiciary you'll be talking about? Can you have justice from the judiciary? Can you get justice from the judiciary? What is happening at the legislature? You like it? Do you like it? Justice Binta Nyako has just given a ruling about the case between Natasha and Akpabio. Akpabio says he's appealing it. The judgment that was very, very clear. What does it cost you to say, okay, come, Natasha. Come, Natasha, let's work together. Akpabio could bet Natasha. Come, my daughter. No problem. What has happened has happened. Let's forget about it and work together in the interest of Nigerians. They won't do that. It's not Akpabio that says, okay, be there. Be there, be doing all your nonsense, and we'll be eating your money. Akpabio said that freely. And the present government does not know how to call him to order. He said that freely and went away and got away with it. And the present government cannot call such a person to order. We are besieged. Nigerians are besieged by those who are at the helm of affairs. But the warning before them is that they will not stay on earth here forever. A time is coming, Buhari has left. As Buhari has left, me too, I will leave. And you too that you are there, you will leave. All the wealth you are amassing, a time will come, they will be useless to you.
Okay, before I let you go finally, what are the positive impact you saw during the time of President Muhammadu Buhari as a general and also as a civilian ruler?
I didn't see any positive impact. I didn't see any positive impact during the rule of Muhammadu Buhari. During the time of Muhammadu Buhari, there was no freedom of expression. If you dared to express yourself, you will be gagged and put where you don't expect to be. So many people were afraid to talk, and even as I'm talking to you now, so many people are still afraid to talk because the government that we are seeing is a continuation of what Muhammadu Buhari came to plant. The only thing, Tinubu realigned it around his own circuit of influence. During the time of Buhari, Buhari gathered all his kinsmen around him, whether you knew what you were doing or you never knew what you were doing. The same thing to Tinubu. Tinubu has surrounded himself with his kinsmen, with his people, The chief, the chief of staff is Tinubu's tribesperson. IGP, Tinubu's tribesperson. Chief of army staff, Tinubu's tribesperson. Custom, Tinubu's tribesperson. Name them. Important areas. You know, they fortify themselves with the people. And these people, they keep pumping them on. They don't suffer. Those who suffer are the commoners. So I have not seen any positive impact when somebody who wants to create benefits for Nigerians, when the person comes, you will know. Not this present government. Not this present government. Except God helps us. And what happens majorly in Africa? Africans are yet to be delivered. Look, in Cameroon, Paul Biya is 92 years old. And he has said that he will still contest for election. In 2008 or thereabout, when he came, he amended the constitution to allow for infinite vying to power. That as long as you are alive, you can vie to power. And that is why he has been there for the past 42 years. He has been the president of Cameroon. He has been the president of Cameroon. If that is possible for Tinubu, he will do it here. But what I stand here to tell you, if leaders that have the feeling for the people, if they come on board, you will know. You will know. And as for now, I don't see that leaders are patriotic. The leaders that we have are patriotic. Build hospital. Is there no money? 1 trillion naira can build a world-class hospital in Nigeria that nobody would need to fly abroad. But they won't care. They won't think in that line. Do you know why?
Why?
It doesn't bother them. If they are sick, within the next 2 hours, they are in England. Or 4 hours, 6 hours.
6 hours.
They are in London. But you cannot fly, die. And God that is in heaven knows how to balance the equation. Do you know how God balances the equation? The sicknesses that is on them, that are causing them to fly abroad, God does not allow those sicknesses to come to us. Hello?
Hi.
God does not allow those sicknesses to come to us. You can now see, well, people are rumoring that what killed the former president was a blood cancer. Blood cancer can never visit you. It can never visit me. And we that go to the market to look at our wives, and even ourselves that go to the farm to look for what we eat, blood cancer can never dare us. It can never dare us. It goes to people that prepare for it, that have alliance with foreign medical facilities. That is how God balances the equation. But if you would be patriotic, build a befitting hospital in Nigeria here that you don't need to travel abroad. Build schools in the country here. And let's forget about private schools. Nigeria has the money to build a befitting school for everybody to attend. But they won't do that because they are always interested in dichotomy. Let there be a separation between the rich and the poor.
All right. Thank you so much for all of your input and taking our time to join us on today's edition of Midday Discourse. Thank you so much, Dr. Bartholomew Amocheno, Elder Statesman, for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Yes, and this is how much time will permit us to take on today's edition of Midday Discuss. But before we go, during the era of late General Muhammadu Buhari, we saw some level of investment in infrastructure, agriculture, and also in the digital space. We saw some other reforms too in the petroleum sector, where he introduced the PIA initiative in 2021, and also we saw digital economic development in fintech and also the e-Naira initiatives that is still ongoing. But on the other note, we still saw a high level of poor economic management and inconsistency in politics. But overall, this current administration said they inherited a dying economy from the previous administration, and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is working day and night to make sure that Nigerian economy gets stabilized. My name is Samuel Odi. This is how much time will permit us to take on today's edition of Midday Discuss. I'll see you again as we discuss further. Bye for now.